Yo, what's going on? Sorry, my mic was muted because I was doing video stuff earlier in the day. We are doing held. Oh, I was doing button L for this Lugia, wasn't I? Yeah. This. I'm resetting up the thing because I kind of forgot what it was. On Lugia, we are in TCTV mode. They told me that the minimum TCTV advance would be... Oh, we'll see. I have my seed settings from last time, so I'm gonna input those. Quick like. Oh wait. Is this my seed set? What? Okay, cool. The seed timing actually hasn't changed. Maybe I can change the I don't know. I'm just trying to re-get my setting. Oh, there we go. I think I was doing 1100 out of the TV. Set that. So I'm aiming for this. Aiming for this is not changed. Advances. I should have set this up before I went on stream, but that's okay. Calibration is 569.94, so I'm late. There we go. Alright, the two timers are ready to go. I think we're ready to go here. I gotta ping my Discord, and then we're good. That was a brief setup interlude by I'm a Blisy before anything important happened. Oh wait, what? Everyone didn't work. Meow. Oh. Alright, I'm officially here at this point. What's up, Misasoki? How you doing? No held button, but I'm doing L press, which is like super annoying, but you know, you have to accept your life for what it is. In my life, it's not so bad because I'm doing this right now. But I do have to hit the L button, which is like a not positive. But is it really that negative of a part of my life, having to hit the L button? I don't think so. So I'm gonna have to hit the L button. Oh, I don't even have this on the charger. I'm gonna have to do that. What's up, Stardust Virus? How you doing? And who knows how my calibration's gonna hold from like 3 days ago or whenever this was. I fucked up because I couldn't see the start button on my Eon Timer, so I couldn't hit it. So I goobed a bit. Do we have Nightbot activity today? Besides, I'll take your emerald. You decided I'll steal my emerald improvements and stealing Pokemon thing to its logical extreme by stealing every Pokemon in the game. The stealing Pokemon thing was pretty fun for me to do. I was thinking about adding that to the emerald improvement, where like if you throw Pokeball, it changes thing to Y. I could have done it. I could have added like a stealing Pokeball feature or something like that, but I ended up, or stealing a Pokemon feature, but I ended up not doing it for various reasons. All right, let's see what we got here. See how far off or correct we were. So. I don't know my TIDS ID, but I do know that I think the Lugia will be shiny. I'm like pretty sure. 147, 231, 72. Okay, I was 51 milliseconds early. Is that 1 seed or 2 seed? Oh, this is so unhelpful. Seed. We'll do seed plus minus like 10. That's 1 seed late. 1D. Oh, no, 1 seed. 2 seeds early. It's like 3 seeds early. Dang. I'll probably do one more run before I actually start adjusting things. So. Just got to get dialed in on a couple of first attempts, right? Gotta drop that, because I'm sure that'll cause lag. I will say I'm, you know, I was very skeptical of Lincoln's idea here with the TGTV calibration, but they've done a marvelous job. I think the one thing is this should probably auto default to 313 plus minus, but I guess it makes sense to not. What did I say various reasons for? We could probably see Semolina wake up here. Hi. Oh, did I just start recording? By the way, it is the first nice day in Michigan. It's the first nice day in Michigan in like 2 months, I want to say. Maybe that might be an exaggeration, but like a month and a half. Saw your video for Shiny Starters a month ago and finally was able to RNG a star last night. Are you talking about for Fire Red, JB? That's very awesome. Congratulations. Good morning, Semolina. Say good morning to everybody. She just woke up from her nap. Say good morning. Say good morning. I love you very much, miss. She wants to play with the kitten. But the only way, like, she's like kind of too rough with the kitten. So I've been letting them play, like, she runs around the crate thing that he's in. And that's how they've been playing when they're together. Alright, we got Modest. Probably do my best to set up the bingo, but we'll get one more. We'll do this rip and then I'll set up bingo on the secondary tab. Okay. 72. Whoa. 48, 120. Alright. That was 1 seed early, and I was pretty close otherwise. So let's set up bingo. I thought you could pass this with whatever. Bingo. Is it and bingo equal true? Is that how it goes? Yeah. So let me set this up. What is the seed that I have here? Initial seed. Fire Red English. DS. Doing L equals A. Okay. We're doing. So just setting up the bingo board really quick. One. Lugia. So we're doing seed plus and minus 3. Advances are like the actual advance for this. So we'll go like to 5, and we'll go like to 30. A minute, we'll hit go, and then I think I have to reload it. Go bingo. I did a little too many. Go back here. Go to 6. Reload. Oh, it's Bulbasaur because I refreshed. Dang it. Events. Nope. Lugia. Submit. Bingo. Oh. There we go. This one. It would be shiny if I remembered what my... Oh, no, it's not this one. Jesus, this one. It would be shiny if I remember what my trainer ID and secret ID were, but I don't, so... Alright, so we hit a Lugia that is modest. With 248. I think I've hit this one before, no? This Lugia is... Oh no, I'm like 2 TVs early. Okay, okay. I'm 2 TVs early. This is Heart Gold and Soul Silver? No, this is Fire Red. I want to say I love your content. Recently found a shiny Mew after random runaways. Watching your content makes you think about how I had to coincidentally get the exact right timing on the encounters. That's awesome, Julian. I'm glad you like my stuff. I'm glad to like more and more shiny hunters are appreciating my videos. It's really awesome. It genuinely is like really awesome. They get along okay. Introducing adult cats can be rough. Semolina really, they like each other. In fact, when Semolina leaves, he cries out for her. But when she plays with him, she bites like too hard. Like, I don't think she understands how small he is. So, and she likes him. Like, she spent so much time cleaning him. But yeah, she's just too rough, so we're just being like cautious with how much we let her interact directly with him, or like I will never let them interact fully unsupervised at the moment. I have to be observing them because it's just too much, right? It's just too it's not good. Yeah, I don't trust him. Is Nightbot here? Nightbot, are you gonna work today? See if Nightbot's gonna work today. I think I might need Daybot. Apparently. It's okay if it's like a little delayed, but the commands are just not working at all. Cooldown. 1 second. Robots can't handle a 9 to 5. Dude, it's not even a 9 to 5. You could download this theme in my Discord. It was made by Ayanami Ray. The Eon Timer 3.0 has like support for custom themes now, which is really cool. All right, so we hit an impish one. Let me scan. I see an impish one here. No, it's not that one. I don't see it immediately in my vicinity, so let's investigate. But yeah, I have all of the doors and stuff open today because the weather is just so nice. It has not been the case for Michigan to have weather this nice. Okay, I've been this early on TV multiple times. I kind of don't want to change it. I've also been skewing a little bit early on seed. So I might do... Then I'll go... I'm gonna do like that. See how that goes. See how that goes. Let's see. Wonder... Oh! Wait a minute. Is it this? This might be insane. The command might now work. I'm hoping that was the problem. Oh, we're so back. We're so back. Here as well as these 100 degrees have been killer. I work outside. Oh, that sucks, dude. That sucks. Yeah, dude, it has been brutal. I mean, these temps have been unbelievable. And like, it's been looking like it's gonna rain or storm, and it like has not, basically, at all. So the humidity has not gone down. Okay, I just fucked up, because I started that entire thing was my fault. So we're ready to reset. Yeah, there was a rainstorm like that. Kind of near me as well. There was one supposed to hit me, but it hit where my wife worked, basically. Instead of, like, our place, which she works pretty close, but... She lives pretty close to where we work. Oh my god, I'm having a stroke. As there are static events for these games, if you don't want to use glitches, you have to play through the game again. But there are glitches to respawn Pokemon or get to those event items and stuff. Yo, what's up, Topaz? How are you doing? Hope you are having a grand old time. What? Oh my gosh, I did the seed button instead. I hit L instead of B. Because I forgot what I was doing. Would you like to play a difficult vanilla plus ROM hack? Not really. I tend to not play Pokemon for difficult PvE. Like, if I want a challenge in terms of Pokemon combat, I would do PvP. Because I tend to think it's more interesting. Like, the way in Pokemon that you usually, I'll say this, there are ROM hacks and other things that do difficulty in a different way, but for the most part, if you want difficulty in a Pokemon game via a ROM hack, they tend to do it just by making the fights, like, unfair. They do stuff like introduce level caps, and then they also make it, like, impossible for you to be able to win the fight on your first try without, like, an unbelievable amount of planning. Which can be kind of fun if you like it as, like, a puzzle aspect. I don't disagree for that at all. No disagreements there. However, that's not what I look to for difficulty in Pokemon. Because, like, I don't want to play the story EV training Pokemon as I go, or like worrying about a level cap, or like only being able to use specific Pokemon if I think I'm much more interested if we're doing a puzzle in terms of a battle like that. I just prefer the actual puzzle ROM hacks. Stuff like Freeze Eyes Mountain. I know there's been other puzzle hacks before Freeze Eyes Mountain, of course, but like Freeze Eyes Mountain is a great example because those are difficult battles that are actually strictly puzzles, and those are really cool, I think, and I'm much more interested in doing those. That's a type of difficulty that I much prefer rather than, like, because at the end of the day, it's somewhat of a brute force. It's somewhat of a brute forcing thing, in my opinion. If you're doing it the other way, right? If you're just doing it with the difficulty hack, you don't know all the Pokemon going into it. It's going to be a bit brute forcey, and it's going to be a bit more luck dependent than I would want. So we were on seed. 2 TVs early. Okay, I was 2 TVs early on seed, so I'm going to adjust that. I just tend to not enjoy things that are like intentionally unfair, I guess, if that makes sense. Right? That makes sense. Like and again, if I'm interested in having an actual strategic battle, I'm more interested in doing that against other human beings, because I don't think you're going to get as interesting of a time doing that against, you know, NPCs. I was wondering for your Registeel stream, whether you had never captured it in 800 hours or you reset the encounter. I reset that one with Ace. I have another Registeel on that save file that I think might be shiny, to be honest with you. I think Emerald's Battle Frontier is actually a great example of unfair. It's a great example of completely unfair difficulty. Where you are going to have to play the Frontier and lose a million times. The Frontier, I wouldn't mind the unfair difficulty in terms of like because like if you look the way LRXC does the battle factory, he has like basically a damage calculator with all of the spreads that are possible, and you have to do, and to get the world record, he either has to perfectly identify what spread is the Pokemon by either one move that it's used or something else, and then he uses the damage calc to get it. And if you lose, you then have to go through like 30 rounds of like baby Pokemon again. And it's like, once you get the silver symbol in a facility, the challenges pre-silver symbol are just not enjoyable. Like even I had never gotten the silver medal in the battle tower, right? The first time you do it, if you plan a good team, you bring like Metagross, Latios, Suicune like I did, you're just going to roll the first like 4 rounds if you have a good team, because they are literally bringing baby Pokemon in the first round, and so it's really tedious. And so like, I would say that the unfairness of, ooh, I was literally 2 frames early on seed on TV. 2 frames early. Damn. Yo, what up, 10 Ben? How you doing today? So I think that type of challenge is unfair because you do not have all the information. And I think it's okay to have challenges where you don't have all the information and you gain more information the more that you replay around. I think that could be fine. But also at the same time, what makes it really unfun is the fact that the challenge constantly resets to completely 0. And it's not like a fun type of challenge. Like in Metroid Dread mode, you die in 1 hit in that game, right? Literally 1 hit kills you if you're playing on Dread difficult from any enemy. However, that's really fun because the challenge is in your ability to move and maneuver with like your reflexes, and then also your skills at remembering where enemies were. That does not get tedious for a really long time, because a lot of the time you die because of a failing of execution, right? You're literally, I mean, maybe in the factory you can lose if you get a really shit draw, but in the battle, the rest of the frontier where you can bring your own team, you're literally never gonna lose if you bring a half decent team in the first like 3 or 4 rounds, because it's just so stupid. And so I think that if the frontier was to come back, what they need to do is like reduce the round quantity. Like 70 wins to get the gold medal, too long in the frontier. But you also, I think, need to, aside from that you need to introduce like round skipping. If you have the silver symbol, you can start every single time from 21 wins. That's my opinion. I think that's how I would improve the Battle Frontier a lot. Is if you win the silver symbol, you just start from there every time you want to re-challenge and you lose. Because it's just like, you just have to waste time getting to the good stuff and button mashing. It's so silly. Why do I gotta fight Bulbasaur with my level 100 Metagross? It's so crazy, man. And then and then all to randomly lose to an accuracy spammer. I think that some of it can be worked around. Like, I had Aerial Ace on my Metagross out of concern for the Aerial Ace spamming, but I didn't bring a damp Pokemon, or I didn't bring a Pokemon with resistance to 1 KO moves, because it's just too much. You can't prep for everything in 3v3 battles. Bring 6, pick 3, it is, or... What? Did that only be 5 times? I swear. I think that you can't prep for literally every Pokemon. It's not possible in my opinion. Hi, buddy. Semolina. See, right now he's crying for Semolina. Yo, what up, Skyward Kalox? How you doing? The pyramid wasn't that bad for me. Cool guy's crying. There she is. Pay attention to your little foster brother. I didn't mind I think that for me the hardest one is the Battle Factory. I think if you're not using like one of those damage calculators that can tell you the spreads of Pokemon and stuff in the Battle Factory, or you don't have the entire thing memorized, I think it is like by far the most difficult and most luck reliant facility. I'm not sure if I legit ever would have beaten the Battle Factory if I wasn't using a damage calc and doing the RNG minute for it. I don't think, and I think in both cases, I don't think I would have been able to win. But you know what? That's the problem. My chair is really low. I was like, why am I so low in the frame? My chair was really low because of the kitten. That's what I'm saying, Guck Fugel. I was literally saying that earlier. You need to be able to start on a you start on the streak. When you win the silver medal, you start on that streak. Bashful. I don't see that. We can do a little bit count. I mean, I was really close before, so dude, now I feel like I'm giant. This feels like, this is what it feels like when you're in like a car. Like you're in like a short car and then you go to like a, hello? You get into like a pickup truck or something and then you feel like a giant. I was 1 TV late, 1 seat early. The other facilities don't feel that bad, they're just really long. Like they just take so long. You just spend so long in them. Can I pin the Night 2 bot post? If he posts, can I pin that? I have 3, Porter. So this is the first frame perfect press. So on the title screen, you have to frame perfectly press A to get your initial seed. And sometimes the seed is not frame perfect. Sometimes the seed is 2 frames wide. There's even 3 or 4 frame wide, like seeds back to back consecutively. And then there are some that are like almost 8 milliseconds only. So it depends, but generally it's frame perfect input. This one, I don't know off the top of my head if it's frame perfect or not. And then the one after it is when I close the TV, that's another frame perfect input. And then the last one is when I talk to Lugia. Those are all the frame perfect inputs. And you have to close the TV frame perfectly because that is, when you're doing that, when you're in the TV, the RNG advances 313 times the usual speed of it. Yeah. If y'all are having a good time, by the way, we have 100 people here. Would you consider hitting the like button? It's free and it helps out the stream. It lets YouTube know that I'm still here, I'm doing things, and you're enjoying what I'm doing. 229. Relax. Oh. I was probably off on the TV again. This is 229, 228. We were on seed, 2 TVs late. It's a long grind where half the battles are pointless. It's true. It's part of the experience, I guess. Well, no. I mean, you can say, like, I overall enjoyed the Battle Frontier despite the experience that it's got that tedium. Like, I would say that I didn't enjoy the Battle Frontier in part because of that tedium, and I think if I was to do the Battle Frontier again, or if I was to improve the Battle Frontier, that's how I would do it, is you start at 21 streaks. Seen quite a few of your videos, and this is definitely intriguing to watch. I shiny hunt traditionally, but super interested. Like, you find this interesting, or you're interested in doing it. I have a bunch of beginner guides if you're interested in trying stuff like this out. And then on my channel, or you can go to retailrng.com and you can get some beginner guides as well for Fire Red and Leaf Green. I promise more is coming to that soon. Once I finish this current video, I'm going to grind out a couple of guides. I don't know if I'll do a TGTV guide for video, but I will do a text guide for TGTV. And then I'm going to redo all of the pictures in the guides. I find this interesting because I love the efficient and figuring out puzzles versus mindless resetting. True. That's why I have fun doing this stuff, is because it is a process of, it's both a process of like figuring out what is the optimal path or what's the best path or your ideal path to get to the Pokemon in terms of seeds and button presses and frame perfect inputs. And it's not even just like optimal. It's like, what do you like doing about it, right? Like, I could probably get a 5IV Lugia that's shiny without using TGTV, probably, but I kind of wanted to use TGTV. I like using it. And then on top of that, well, like I wanted to do, because there are targets that are required, the TGTV requires, in terms of spreads. I just didn't know if there was anything currently. Ooh, I think I hit this one here. Boink. So we were 1 seed late, 1 advance early on TGTV. Grinding BP. Well, when you're grinding BP, unfortunately, the best way to grind BP is just the guy, the gamble man. The betting guy. You basically what you have to do is you just hope that he asks for an easy thing. Like, I have him actually on my other emerald, on my dead battery emerald. He is on round 1 of the battle tower. and you can bet like 3 BP and just win that over and over and over again. Yeah, he's to the right of the pyramid, the gambling guy. I talk about him in my Gen 3 team building video. But basically, I got really lucky, and he changes every day technically, but my battery is dead. So I got really lucky, and he asked for singles winning 7 battles in a row of the battle tower. And so all I do is, he technically doesn't ask for round 1. He just asks for a 1 win streak, right? And so I go to him, I bet 3 BP, I win 7 rounds, collect my money, go back, lose, go back to him, bet again, and you just can farm. You can farm reasonably quickly. And I think the best way is to always do round 1, and as long as he's not asking for the factory or the palace, you can pretty much do it very quickly, I would say. How hard are the RNG minutes for the beasts in Colosseum? Suicune and Entei have been I would say they've been pretty easy for a long time. Blink is a involved RNG minute, but it is not difficult in terms of like frame perfect execution. Raikou is the only one of them that I would even remotely count as hard or difficult in any capacity. And it's just because there's like typically like a lot of waiting. You don't get a lot of attempts, basically. And it can be like high pressure is the best way to say it. So like the way Raikou works is you find your initial seed, then you wait using your preferred method, be it Moltres or some other method. Yeah, be it Moltres or some other method to advance the RNG. Then when you get close, you go down in front of him in the overworld, and then you do a blink until you're like 500 advances away or something like that. And then from blink, you close it, and you have to do a frame, 1/60th of a second frame perfect input to get Raikou. And you always have to be aiming for the same seed, or else you're not going to get good consistency. And so what that means is you can wait an hour, 2, 5 hours sometimes for a 1/60th of a second frame perfect precision input for Raikou, right? And the two things that I think make that difficult are, one, when you're down to the wire making that frame perfect thing after a 2-hour wait, right? That's high pressure. You have to not screw that up. And like a human is never going to be the same. Like your timing is never going to not waver. You know what I mean? As a human being, even if especially if you're not able to make multiple attempts very quickly, your timing will waver. 233 set. Dude. I'll do one more and then I'll calibrate. And so, you know, the calibration for that, it's pretty good, but it's not perfect. And then the other thing that stinks is sort of tied into this, is that when you are attempting something like Raikou, you do not get like a traditional RNG minute in this game, like you're watching me do here right now, right? I would say this is much, much more difficult than Raikou in terms of raw execution, because it's 3 1/60th of a second inputs, right? Raikou's only 1 1/60th of a second input, and the timing window for Blink is pretty big. I remember reading it was like 10 advances or something like that, or 10 frames, whatever you want to call them. It's pretty big. It's not a very small window, but you still can miss it. No, the issue is you cannot rip attempts like this. I get like one attempt every 2 minutes or so. Here, it's maybe even less. Yeah, it's one attempt every minute and a half, 2 minutes for this minute. Oh, well, I fucked up. Raikou is like one attempt. Like if you're averaging it out, it's probably like one attempt every 2 hours or 2.5 hours, maybe longer. Honestly, it's been a while since I've done it. And so, and quite frankly, most people do not do like one, they don't just like reset. Like I prefer, rather than waiting 5 hours, I prefer resetting for a seed multiple times over and over again. I prefer to just like try and reset for a good seed as much as possible. All of my Colosseum videos are extremely outdated. I wouldn't use any of them. They're technically like they're not inaccurate, but they don't have the latest tools. If you join my Discord, there's a Google Doc with the most up-to-date Colosseum tool, and that Google Doc has a bunch of text guides on it. I was 2 advances early on seed again. I did this one twice. Maybe I calibrate. I'm not sure if I'll ever cover Colosseum RNG Manips again, because the person who's made the latest tools I consider like a serial harasser of me. He like is constantly lied about me and like told people just not true things about me, stuff like that, and sent people to my videos to claim that I've done things. It's very stupid internet bullshit from like an actual psychotic person. So yeah, I really don't appreciate, yeah. So I don't know if I'll ever cover it again. Only shadow Pokemon are locked in XD. So the wild Pokemon you can get at Pokespots are not shiny locked, and the trades from Duking are not shiny locked. And then there's a couple of other, like any gift Pokemon are not shiny locked, like the starter Eevee is not shiny locked, and then there's some other guys that are not shiny locked either, right? I don't remember who the other gifts are, but they're not shiny locked. It's just shadow Pokemon. There is not, I don't foresee a way where e-reader content could ever be implemented into English Colosseum, just because, I'll do one more, then I'll calibrate. I do not foresee a way to get the English stuff into Colosseum, and the reason for that is because the room in Colosseum is fully, well, maybe, I don't know if the functionality has been done. You could not do it without hacking, like the way I did it in Emerald. But I believe the room might function still if you wall hack into it. So the room is, the way it works is the room in Colosseum is always closed. And I think that you can wall hack your way into the room. I don't know if the functionality has been removed or not. I don't know that information. Well, maybe the videos are too much for you, Black Flame. You could try going to retailrng.com. We've got some videos for the Gen 3 games. We got some guides for the Gen 3 games. The Colo e-reader content is 3 shadow Pokemon. Oh, there's a trainer. There's 3 different trainers you can get that each have shadow Pokemon. There is a, I think it's a Togepi. It's a Mareep and a Scizor, and then I think a Togepi, maybe? I can't remember what it is. And all of them also have 0 as all of their stats. So, yeah, there's not really much of a point to getting them. I didn't feel that was a good attempt. My favorite Pokemon generation is Gen 5, Black and White. I love them. Only 2 on the board. Well, I hit this one twice. You can see there's a counter. So, like, this is not ability count. This is how many times I hit it. So I hit this one, and then I hit this one twice. And when I say that's my favorite generation, that's pretty much, strictly speaking, only for the story mode. probably early on seed. Oh, this one would be. My favorite RNGs to do are probably in Fire and Leaf Green because it's the most skillful. My favorite gen to do battles in is probably 4. Semolina, where are you? You've abandoned little guy. It creates very chaotic though. I'll put you down in a minute, but there's sort of a scenario happening here, kid. Yeah, I think it's 2 months old. He is. He's so sweet. Yeah, this is Chomper. He's behind you, Semolina. I'm gonna put the fan. It's getting a little warm finally. Why do I have so many cats? We have 2 cats and we're fostering 1. That's it. We only have this little guy for 10 days. I also don't think 2 is that many. Be nice, Semolina. Little. I think they swapped for black and white too so that you would get the same version. So like, from my understanding, the idea is if you bought black 1, you get Reshiram, and then if you bought black 2, you get Zekrom. So like the idea would be you continue with the same version rather than swapping versions, and that way if you bought both, you get both legendaries. One seed early. Be nice to him. And you have to fight back, little guy. Hey, stop. By the way, guys, there's 110 people in here, but only 35 likes. If you're having a good time, please hit that like button. I'd really appreciate it. It helps me out. It's a good way to support the stream. Semolina, I will put you away. You're too rough. I have my foot on Semolina. It's the easiest way to get a DS capture card's very efficient because you get GBA and DS games recording on it. That's the only reason, really. Like, I could record my GBA via a capture card on the GameCube, but it's just, yeah. Yeah, it is slightly clunkier to... Yeah, fight him. Fight her. Yes, fight her. Good boy. Fight her. Okay. You gotta see. You alright, little buddy? Okay, little man. Poor little baby boy. He's so little. Yeah, I didn't feel great about that attempt either. I had to put him away because I cannot. They both can't be in here. Or I just can't watch them without supervision. She's a little too rough with him. She's not like being mean. I just think she doesn't understand how tiny he is. So. But they play really good through the thing, so that's okay too. Oh, I was 1 seed early. Everything else was perfect. Damn. CC timer. There's no reason to use it. The CC timer users are like coped out of their gourd. It's like if you still used Flowtimer. It's like if you still used Flowtimer for now. There's no reason anymore to use it. CC timer is a closed source program that does not have as many features as this one, and it is not any more accurate than it either. So like, what is the reason to use it? Like, Eon Timer is open source. Other people can access it. CC timer also, isn't it? Does it even have Gen 3 and 4 support out? Like, let me open it. No, it doesn't. It's a Gen 3 app only. And so, I don't know. There are people who still suggest using CC timer, and I'm like, why are you even saying that? Like, you are basically giving people an inferior tool. Like, and even in the instances where it works the same as everything else. Like, let's say you take an instance where you want to do it, where CC timer and Eon timer are fully equal in all respects for that specific manip, right? Let's say you're doing that. I still think Eon Timer is better because they're both the same accuracy, and Eon Timer is an open source program. You know, you can go look at it and like make sure that it's all good. So it's just better to recommend, in my opinion. I do think the developer of CC Timer is trustworthy. Bonziri is a very nice person. I've spoken to him before. But I just think it's better to not recommend closed-sourced apps. Like, why are you recommending them? And the real answer is the people who are doing it are only, in my opinion, the person who develops the Colosseum tools. And it's just because he just like thinks that the Japanese devs are like infallible. He's like actually a lunatic. So yeah, he's like the only real person recommending CC timer anymore. And it's because he has this like opinion that certain people are infallible. You can't manip Pokemon in Scarlet and Violet. It's not possible. So you don't need your trainer ready. Your trainer ready, and maybe you could. The only reason to want them is to, I guess, to there are a couple of hasties here, no? Alright, we'll get one more in there. Oh, and for the record, Eon Timer isn't just good old Eon Timer. This is Eon Timer 3.0. It has been repeatedly updated, like multiple times, to have more features and be more accurate. Like, this is not Eon Timer 1.6, which is good old, in quotes. That one's the good old ones. Thank you for 2 streams in a row. You're the go. I think, isn't it the 3rd stream this week? I streamed Tuesday, didn't I? Yeah, I streamed Tornadus and then Registeel and then now Lugia. I mean, I guess I would like to get all of them, Logan. That's the ideal scenario, is it not? Yeah, I RNG'd I RNG'd Tornadus. Or tried to, I failed. I haven't got it. No, I got Registeel yesterday. You don't, Black Flame. You just use bottle caps to fix them, basically. Yeah, there's a person in Monteverna he's got an Obama Snow next to him. He will hyper train your Pokemon if they're level 50 or higher, which changes a stat from whatever it is to best. They don't pass down in breeding, but yeah. Yeah, the main gameplay loop of these days is farm Happiny parts. The main thing is you farm Happiny parts. Into item printer for money, rinse, repeat. Your Commodore 64. Yeah, that's like the function of them. I don't really understand why they don't just let bottle caps change a stat to be whatever you want it, but... Your Commodore Amiga. I have exactly one Commodore 64 game. But I don't even have a Commodore 64. It was made by a YouTuber. It's called Planet X2. It was made by a YouTuber called the 8-Bit Guy. I've not watched him in a very long time, but his videos were very good. Like, when I was into them, they were very good. He, like, was restoring old, he would, like, restore old game consoles and make them function again and stuff like that. And he made a Commodore 64 game called Planet X2. It's okay. It's not really my type of game, but it was pretty cheap. Oh, you have the SNES version of Petsky Robot? Very W. That I would use Metagross and Swampert. I wouldn't use Swampert. Swampert is worse than the other two water type options, which are Suicune and Milotic. Swampert's advantage that it has is convenience. Swampert is extremely convenient because getting a good Feebas and then evolving it is a huge pain in the ass. And then the only way to get a good Suicune that has good stats is from Colo, which is not, you know, an accessible game by most standards. But I think Swampert and Metagross are like legit best in slot for Battle Frontier. I don't know that you can get better Pokemon than Swampert and Metagross that are allowed. I mean, the secret answer to that question, Philip, is that there is not really much of a line. The line is blurred. Right? And so, like, what I mean by that statement is, it's like, you know, my definition for a very long time was, it's not hacking if you can do it with just the game by itself. So, like, all the RNG manip stuff, you can do with just the game. You do not need any modifications to your system or your cartridge or anything like that in order to do RNG manipulation. But then arbitrary code execution comes out, and arbitrary code execution follows that exact rule. You do not need to do any hacking or anything like that for arbitrary code execution to function properly. And the problem is, some of this, because arbitrary code execution, by its definition, executing arbitrary code can do anything. Like, really, like, if the code is complex enough or your setup is complex enough, you can pretty much do anything. You can make Pokemon from scratch. You can spawn anything you want anywhere. That was just one seed early, one advanced late. Yeah, we're good. Because of that, you know, you can do anything. It's very powerful. And so you can just build Pokemon from scratch just by typing in box names. And that ends up both feeling a little bit like cheating to me and also not being fun. So yeah, I think there's no hard line. I think you, if you push me and you prod me, I would always say that Ace is not cheating. I guess if you want me to, if well, like, that's the problem, is like, I do use a lot of Ace. I change my secret ID all the time because I don't feel like playing games I don't feel like replaying through the game all the time. Right? I just don't feel like doing it. And it's the same with the, you know, PRNG freeze I don't like. The teleport freeze I don't like. Like, I don't like a lot of this stuff. The thing is, I also think it's cool. It's like very cool that it's possible. It just ends up not being fun for me. And when you, like, push comes to shove, I don't know that I would ever call Ace cheating. I would call Ace, I would almost say, like, to me it's cheap and not cheating. Like, the fun part about RNG manipulation for me is the skill that it takes to execute this. And so doing Ace defeats the point of what I love for using PRNG freeze code or the ones that just build Pokemon from nothing. But I'm not going to say that people are cheating to do it, because, yeah. So I think push comes to shove. I think for me, push comes to shove, if you're using external hardware or software to directly modify the game that you're using. This is exactly one early, isn't it? Yeah. I'm exactly one early. I was on TV, on Seed, exactly 1 frame early. So I think if push comes to shove, I don't think that Ace is cheating. I just don't like some of the higher end stuff that it can do. It ends up taking the fun away from me. So I guess my hardline stance would be, if a outside device is directly modifying the game, that's cheating. So using PKHex to edit your save file, removing your save file from the cartridge and then opening up on the computer, that's cheating, right? Stuff like that, that is cheating. I would consider that cheating, yeah. Using an action replay to modify it is cheating, yeah, I would say that. But RNG manipulating an ace, to me, it's not cheating because it's just a cartridge. You're not doing it. I mean, I do think genning is cheating, but it's like, depends on what you're, like, it like depends on the context. Like, if you are genning, like, I'm not the one to like shame someone for genning for various purposes, right? So like, if you are genning in a Pokemon team for the Battle Frontier, like, you're playing a single player game. I don't give a fuck what you're doing. I wouldn't do it. But like, yeah, it doesn't matter. I don't care. If you're genning for a tournament, by the rules of the tournament, it is cheating, I would say. But also, I've made many videos complaining about how horrible the landscape is for competitive Pokemon. So like, I'm different from a lot of like you know, people who play VGC, because I will say, like, you get an advantage, and the advantage has been minimized over time, for sure. But I've always said that you do have an advantage if you're hacking the teams in. But I've also always said, like, you know, Game Freak system is dog ass. Like, I don't... like, what? Careful, 236. This one, isn't it? We have some stuff on the board, finally. I don't know, it was too late. That was crazy. Oh yeah, I mean, that's cheating, right? The context is very important for what matters, you know? Yeah, it's just there's no filters for the gender right now. Like, I mean, we can ask Lincoln if they'd be willing to put in a gender filter on the tool. I just don't know if they'd be interested in it. I fail to see why they care about how you obtain the Pokemon, as long as learn so you can actually learn. Okay, there's multiple reasons why people do care about if a person is hacking something in or not. And I can explain all the scenarios in which you would care about why someone's hacking in, as long as the moveset and IVs and EVs are valid, right? There are reasons to care. So, let's break it down, right? First of all, you gain a time advantage by hacking. I officially have a person whose team I am making for the World Championship. As far, I mean, I believe we're pretty much locked in on working together. I'm not going to say anything about who, but I have a person who I'm going to be working with. And they asked me, they were curious. They were like, do you have a deadline by when I have to have my team locked in? And this is probably because these players, you know, are... These players are rightfully concerned. If I have to lock my team in 2 weeks early for this person to make their team, that's too late. Because otherwise because typically they would be used to being able to gen the team very quickly, right? You know what I'm saying here? Like, and so you both have the time to make the team as late as possible and constantly tweak it until the last possible minute. You have that capacity. On top of that, if you're genning, you do not need to own all of the games to get the Pokemon. Not every Pokemon that's available for battle. I'll do one more and then I'll calc. Not every Pokemon that is available for battle is catchable in Scarlet and Violet, which means you need to own older games. I would argue if you're using one of the Therian legendaries, Tornadus, Thundurus, Landorus, those Pokemon, if you want to reset for one, if you want 0 attack, you have to reset for it in a Gen 7 game, basically. Gen 8 has no way to soft reset efficiently for one of those Pokemon. I'm dead serious about that. And they're allowed in Gen 9 competitive. You have to go to a 3DS to do it. So keep that, like, think about that. So it's both a cost thing and it's a time efficiency thing. And now I'll admit, you know, even I will admit that the time efficiency has been very heavily reduced. There are still certain cases where the time thing does matter. And I would argue it still matters to some degree, but it is nowhere near as bad as it used to be. They've drastically improved the time. They fucked up the cost after they fixed the time really well, which is insanely stupid, but whatever. Oh, I fucked up. And then the other thing to consider is, I'm not going to calibrate off this one. The other thing to consider is when you're looking at, this matters a lot less nowadays, because you can bottle cap everything basically. But if you look at what happened, my video about Sejong Park, right? A lot of people got stinky at me for making that video about Sejong Park, saying that, you know, just talking about how he cheated. And because he had a Magmar with stats that were not possible. And the reason he had a Magmar with stats that were not possible is because the team was hacked in and the person did not understand how the game generated Pokemon. And so, yes, he didn't mean to have an illegal Magmar, but he did because he hacked. And if you're hacking and you don't know how the game generates Pokemon, you can accidentally make an illegal Pokemon. Now, what's the ideal world where we live in? And like, I think the ideal world is not one in which hacking is cracked down on, but then also, I don't think the ideal world is one where hacking is cracked down on, but they don't fix the stats. Because if hacking is cracked down on, and then the problem with getting old games and not having perfect stats easily isn't fixed, it's going to create a world where people are making teams for money, which I think is worse than a world where people are able to hack in their Pokemon for free, because right now they can do it for free. So I think a world where it's monetized is significantly worse, where a world where hacking is prevalent but it's free. And so I really hope they just put a team editor in or something to that light, to that effect, right? Oops. Well, that was my bad. I was just mashing. Well, no, Pokegen did have Pokegen and the other thing, PokeCheck did have legality checks for it, but they did not fully know everything. So, and they didn't know about the shadow locked thing, which is why the Magmar ended up being illegal. They didn't know that Magmar had a minimum, had a specific stat threshold. So like PokeCheck marked it as legal, or the stats as legal anyway, even though it's not. Now, if you guys are enjoying listen to me talk about all this stuff, listen to me yap about this stuff, please hit the like button. There's 150 of you here, but there's only like 60 likes. What the heck? You guys don't like me? And then if you want to go an extra mile for support, you could consider becoming a channel member for as low as $1.99 a month. You get access to my videos early. You get access to behind the scenes content. And then if you don't want to become a monthly thing, you could consider donating to my switch2 fund. I'm going to make the person whose if I get a switch2 before July, if we get the $450 here, I will be making that person's team twice and comparing the speed of the Scarlet and Violet Switch 2 to the regular Switch 1 edition to see how much faster or slower it is. On the Switch 2 versus the Switch 1. And so we are only $185 away from that, or whatever it is. So we're pretty close, so I'd really appreciate it. Well, that's how you know, Lost Alternative, that I stand behind my convictions. Even though it is objectively bad for me, if they put in a team editor, I still want it in. This is 1 frame early, isn't it, you motherfucker? Alright, I hit 1 frame early twice, so I'm just gonna do it. I actually have to, I have to put my AC on. It is getting disgusting in here. Oh, it's not too hot, but the humidity is getting crazy. So I'm gonna run an ad. I'll be right back. And if anybody donates or members, I will say something when I come back. Someone become a member. Samantha, welcome to Happy Knee. Thank you very much. Appreciate you. Everybody show them some Blisy. Blisy love. This current song is Planet Quart 2. Robot Plant from Ratchet & Clank 1. What's the purpose of 0? 0 speed for Trick Room, and 0 attack for Confusion. And Foul Play. The whole Ratchet & Clank 1 soundtrack is really good. Yo, what's up, Cal? Yeah, there's a bunch of sound effects you can't hear. Lugia is making like stomping noises, Colin. The screen shakes a very small amount. Oh. This is just for fun. Oops. haven't played in a little while. I've played Colosseum a little bit. I really like Nico and Mosquito. It's actually one of my favorite doubles formats I've ever played. Because it's very, very different from all the other double formats. And so a lot of the differences are very interesting, I think. The main other way that I play Pokemon is I do, like, competitive battles. Like, I like doing, like, Wi-Fi battles, like, or, like, on real hardware if it's possible. But I have not played Ore in quite some time. No, I've really never played Magic. I tried cart doubles OU? No, because I don't like doubles as much as I like singles generally. I'm a big 6v6 singles enjoyer. I always play doubles formats, like, some amount. Like, I'll get into them when a generation drops or when a new format comes out, and I'll do the VGC equivalent just because it tends to be more popular. Doubles just feels inherently more luck-based than singles to me in a 6v6 format. Especially in a 4v... Bring 6, pick 4. It can feel very luck-based. So I imagine I'd like doubles OU more than I would like. I would like doubles OU more than I would like VGC, probably, but I tend to play VGC just because it's like, if I'm playing doubles, I'm going to play VGC. That's tends to be what more people are playing, right? They slap the word official on it, and it makes people flock to the format. I'm going for a 5 IV shiny Lugia, so it's got all perfect stats, and it is shiny. Lugia is kind of beasting me. I'll do one more, and then I'll calibrate. And of course, no hate to anybody who, you know, likes VGC or likes whatever. Like, I'm not, like, just because I feel the format is more luck-based doesn't mean I'm right. And doesn't mean you can't enjoy something that has more luck. No, that Hariyama's nickname is, it's PID. I nicknamed it that so I could remember what its PID was. I needed to remember its PID because I was using... I could say you are... There's more lucky... Well, because, like... I guess what gets me in doubles is obviously there's decision making in target selection, right? I'm not saying that there's not, but like knowing when a Pokemon is gonna protect, knowing if ally switch is gonna happen, right? And knowing if wide guard's gonna happen, these things are like invariably 50-50s, I think. And I think it's a lot harder to control for in a way that feels like very luck-based. And I think that VGC exacerbates the problem because you only bring 4 Pokemon with you. So you just, by definition, cannot prepare for everything the opponent is going to be doing, where I feel when I'm playing 6v6 singles, I do have the ability to prepare. But like the thing is also like, I'm not a great battler, so like whatever, man. Like at the end of the day, I'm a ladder goblin who peaks on ladder and then doesn't enter tournaments seriously. Very often. Oh, double protect is so lame. It should not be in the game. I think double protect should just be removed. You just always fail. There's always a fail state. Actually, it was really funny. VGC players have taken to this like thing where they say stuff like they have stopped bullying people for using lame strategies. Right? Like, it is not like if someone double protects like 10 times to try and win, people will just be like, they're just playing to their out. I think you just start bullying people. You just start saying you're a fucking loser, get beasted, like just make fun of them. You have to use an unskilled strategy because you let yourself get put into a bad position. And just start bullying them. And I think the reason you start doing that, no, this comes from Melee. The reason there was no Jigglypuff players in Melee other than Hungrybox for like 10 years is because of just everybody bullied him. And it's like, it worked, bro. We just had a character that nobody liked that never showed up. That was good. That was a good character. You just bully him. It works, bro. People stop doing it. They just stop playing. Get him out. Okay. I do think Game Freak should remove double protect, and I think it is insane that double protects and Oko moves are not removed. I think it's partially because the crowd likes them, right? Like, the casters tend to hype up those moments of, like, they hype up when an Oko move happens. They get excited when a double protect happens, and I think that the casters and the crowd do too. And so I think that's part of the reason. But it's just like, there are ways you can make Oko more consistent. That's definitely true. Where it's like, if like Ting Lu has the option to click fissure 8 times, it's gonna hit once. The issue is, it's not an all or nothing move. If fissure was something like this move will hit 1 time, guaranteed, the other 7 it will miss. Always. If that's how fissure worked, I would think it's more fine. Or something like this move will hit 2 times. Oh, did I miss the button? I did. Or miss and then miss 6. And you can always get 2 fissures hit. Because then you'd be put into states where like someone missed 6 fissures in a row. And then you know that they're going to hit the next 2 ones, and you have to do something about it. I think that could be an interesting game state. I think that could be an interesting way to actually include Fissure in a way that's like more healthy than it is. Yeah, generally accuracy balancing is not good. I don't love it. Yeah, I was saying, Yoshi and Lugia, I was saying we just have to start bullying people. There just has to be a social stigma against winning via double protect, right? That's it, because Game Freak's not going to remove it. So if you just make it like a stigma, where like you don't shake your opponent's hand if they double protect, you tell all your friends they only won because they protected 3 times, people would stop doing it. You could just socially, you can social engineer your way out of any game balance issue. If the whole community decides it doesn't like a mechanic, you could just socially engineer around it and bully people. Obviously, the problem becomes with this, then you start bullying people because they're using good Pokemon? Well, no. It's like, oh, well, then blah, blah, blah. It's like, obviously, I'm just shitposting here. I don't think you should actually bully people. And it's a fucking worth it disclaimer, by the way. I think most people who know me understand that I'm just shitposting, but yeah, just let it be known that I don't actually think you should bully people. To a crit -3 glacial lands into a double protect stall room turns. Yeah, it's like how does the person on the other end feel? Like, I do think there is something to be said about like, you should not feel good about every single win. If that makes sense. Like, there is this like thing where it's like fully always about just getting the dub. Oops. And obviously your opponents can't do anything about crit, but yeah. Like, you can't do anything about crit, but I don't know. To me, strategies that rely just on Gamba. Oh, this was just a very bad attempt all the way through. I don't know what the deal about crit is, though. I don't know if it can be removed from the game. I don't think it's possible. I feel like there'd be too many. Well, I think you can allow for, I think there is a world. Can Pokemon competitive play exist without crit? I feel like not having crit makes stall way more powerful, but I don't know. Well, boosting should be powerful. If you're able, especially in doubles, if you're able to get to plus like 6, it's like most of the time you played well to get there. You know what I'm saying? But then there's Pokemon like fucking Dondozo, who does not have to do anything to get into the position where it's able to get a Omni boost, you know? Or use the move Ancient Power or something like that, right? Well, the thing is, modern Smogon singles is nice because you can just, and this is, I've had this comment, it's really funny. I've had this comment multiple times where I'm doing a Wi-Fi battle with Smogon singles rules. And someone goes, you can just sleep them twice. There's no sleep clause. And I'm like, no, we agreed to the rules of don't sleep a guy twice. Like, handshake rules exist. Like, all rules for any game isn't just the game having the rules built into it, right? You know what I'm saying? Like, the rules to tennis exist not because, no, it's not just gentlemen's rules, it's actual rules. Like, chess doesn't exist. The game of chess is not hard-coded into reality. Someone took a piece of paper and goes, here's the rules to chess. Look at them. And then when two people sit down and they go to play each other, they go, we're playing chess. They are saying those rules are God. Like, the rules of this game are God. The rules of chess are not just a logical consequence of the pieces being on the board. Someone said, this guy only goes this way. This guy goes in L mode, right? Rules do not exist. Like, in implicit versions of games. Tennis doesn't exist in reality. People made it up. Golf doesn't exist. It's made up in reality. Well, that's my point, because it's like obviously the rules of Smogon are not put into the cart. The rules of Smogon are not put into the cart. But if I sit down and say to someone, we're on cartridge, but we're going to play Smogon 6 vs 6, they know what that means. I know what that means. We're going to follow the rules of Smogon. Smogon as a simulator has the convenience of being able to hard mod the game, to literally mod the game. It's like playing on a ROM hack to make sure the rules they want to be followed are followed, but that doesn't mean you can't follow them on a cartridge. So Smogon has the benefit of being able to just fucking do any rule they want ever. They can ban any strategy that the community ends up not liking, which is awesome. Darkrai is one of the reasons Sleep got banned, isn't it? I don't know if it's still allowed. I think it is. Did Smogon make like a deal with Google or something? I can't use DuckDuckGo to like easily get to Smogon OU's page. Like the strategy decks has never come up on DuckDuckGo. I legit think that like Smogon fucking sold some shit to Google to give them prio over like Reddit did, where you can't get good Reddit results on things that aren't Google anymore. We got a calc. I don't know if it actually went through, but like Reddit basically said that like Google was getting prio for search results. Like they sold their ability to do that for them to have good search results. It could just be that DuckDuckGo is worse. It's totally possible. I was like 3 TV late. I typed Darkrai, Smogon OU, and the strategy decks does not come up on DuckDuckGo. But it does come up if I do the exact same thing on Google. I gotta find something different than DuckDuckGo because now they're using AI too, these motherfuckers. I like you because you don't sell data or whatever, but now you're using AI, it's like, fuck motherfuckers. Does Firefox have its own search? I use Firefox, I don't use... use Firefox as a browser. I don't use whatever. I see that you can... Real ones use Bing. Well, Bing's Microsoft, isn't it? I'll do more. By the way, guys, if you're having a good time, you're enjoying the stream, please consider hitting the like button. It's a free way to help me out and support the channel. And if you want to support me for not free, you could consider becoming a channel member. It is only $1.99 a month. That is 1/3 the price of a Twitch sub. You get access to my videos early, you get access to behind the scenes content, and more. And if you want to help me try and get a Switch 2 with a one-time donation, we only need $195 more. We're almost there. And when we get there, I'll buy a Switch 2 and use it to make a video for the World Championships, where I will compare the speed of the Switch 2 Scarlet and Violet patch to the speed of regular Scarlet and Violet by building the person whose team I'm making for the World Championship twice. So if you like those World Championship videos, consider donating. I'd appreciate it. And if you can't or don't want to, no worries. What team? I always make someone's team. No, I always make someone's team for the World Championships. Last year, I made the player Bugsy, and the year before that, I made Freezeye, and they both went to the World Championships with Pokemon that I caught in-game and traded to them before the tournament started. And so I'm doing that again this year as well for someone else. I'm not going to say the team or anything like that, obviously. You will never know what... You won't know... anything about the team before the video. Before the video drops. You predict it'll have 6 Pokemon in it. Okay, that's fair. You do know that one thing. I'm not picking the Pokemon. The person is a person who is qualified for the World Championships. They are going to compete in the Pokemon World Championships in a month from now. And they are going to say, these are the Pokemon I will be using. Make the team for me. And I will say, okay. This is the team I most want to have. But yeah, if you wanted to contribute to that, you could type !switch2 or click the pinned comment. It'll take you to my tip page. No, last time I didn't go for any shinies for Bugsy's team. I think actually Bugsy had a Flutter Mane and I just went for a shiny anyway, just because it's so easy to get. My policy... Oh, my Pokemon video. Well, the Pokemon video was a bit different than all of the other videos, where I went for shinies, where I don't usually go for shinies unless it's not a time wait, like unless it doesn't waste any time. The videos I've done for Scarlet and Violet are for Freezeye's team, for Freeze Eye's team, I did go for shinies because I did a bunch of RNG manipulation. But in Scarlet and Violet, this was the first time in a long time they allowed old Pokemon games to be used. That you could transfer guys in from old games. And so for Freeze Eye's team, I went to multiple old games to compare them to the speed of Scarlet and Violet. What's up, Flips? To see if old games could be faster. And so I did a Gen 4 Pokemon, which was Ursa Ring, or it became Ursa Luna. I did 2 Gen 5 Pokemon, which was Heatran and Cresselia. I did a Gen 8 Pokemon, which is Abomasnow. And then I got Fluttermane and Iron Hands in Gen 9. And then I don't remember who else was on the team. It's only 5 Pokemon, so I don't remember. No, that's 6 Pokemon. That's 2 Gen 5, 2 in Gen 5, 1 in Gen 3, 2 in Gen 9, and 1 in Gen 8. So that's 8 Pokemon for Freeze Eye's team. So I never have anything to do with the decision, because what I'm trying to show in these videos is like what like a realistic way, like a team building process goes for the in-game side of things, right? And what I mean by that is that Freeze Eye, like, I always picked the World Championship players team, the person who won Worlds. I always picked their teams because that was like a way to get a static constant where I'm not picking some arbitrarily difficult team to get, right? I'm not going out of my way to pick the hardest team to get. I'm picking the person who won World Championships. These are the guys that he used. You cannot say I went out of my way to get something pointless or stupid, because I picked the, oh, there it is. I picked the person who won Worlds. And for Freeze Eye and Bugsy's team, it's the same thing. It's these players came to me and said, these are the Pokemon that I want to get. This is my ideal team to try and win the World Championships. Can you get these Pokemon for me? And I could and did. And same with Pokemon and same with Suave. And so that's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to show, like, in a random, kind of a random way, a team that is like a valid representation of what building a team is like for that specific metagame. I just master ball it. I never throw a specific Pokeball. Yeah, if you guys enjoyed watching me do that, again, consider donating. That really helped me out. The thing's going on for all of July, so if you had a good time here watching me do this triple frame perfect insano manip, consider dropping a little bit to my Switch 2 fund. I'd really appreciate it. So we can take a look at it. It's bold with 250, 136, 228, 132, 242, 180. We'll go to the 10 lines and we'll type in the stats anyway. It's good because I haven't gotten a TV, I haven't gotten like a difficult manip in a while, so. You can see it, +0, exactly target frame. No, this is not the e-reader card. This is an official event. You got a Discord? I think you could type !Discord and it'll show up. And all people who become channel members get access to a special section of the Discord where only channel members can talk, and I upload videos early, and I talk about what I'm doing for videos and stuff like that. So if you become a channel member, which also helps me out, you'll end up seeing like a bunch of special stuff about, you know, what videos I'm working on. You get access to my newest project early. I have the e-cards uploaded for it, stuff like that, right? I should save. Let's send the Lugia. How many attempts? A lot. I don't know. Today? I don't know. I hit on the bingo board 4, 5, 6. I hit 7 on the bingo board, and there's many more attempts than that. Why the name Flank? My old username used to be Super Flanker. You could probably still find like Wi-Fi battles of me from high school. I don't even know if you could find it. I think if you type like Super Flanker Wi-Fi battles, you could probably find it. You could also type Disaster Piece, you could also see it. Let's do a yeah, sea breeze type thing. Let's show it off in the battle. We'll do once more. All right, thank you to everybody who tuned in today. Thank you to people who channel membered and donated. I appreciate all of you. And I'll be back tomorrow for another stream.